Hey guys, I hope you're well. Today I want to talk about drama and how to handle it online. I would love for you to put in the comments below any sort of experiences you've had with this. Obviously, no names, but how you've handled it. I think there are a lot of ways to go about this. Unfortunately, when I first got into publishing and books, I didn't know. I had no idea how competitive and cutthroat and sort of catty and petty book world could be, but unfortunately there is that side of it. And I'm okay with that for the most part, for real. Like, I've just gotten used to it. But there are times when I just cringe because when authors then involve readers, it's a whole new level of drama that doesn't need to be there. So I have a couple basic rules for how I handle drama. Number one, try not to participate. If you can back away from it, then do it. Number two, if you need to participate because it's about you or someone you're close to, or a blatant untruth that is just escalating and spiraling around whatever platform you happen to be on, the way to handle that is face to face. There's a thing in therapy land called triangulation. When you directly go to the person that has a problem with you, you have a much better shot of working it out. But when you go to person C, D, E, all these other people, I mean, it's common sense, right, guys? It turns into a bigger problem and a bigger dramatic thing, which taints the experience for not only authors, but readers. Let's face it, guys, it's really hard to find time to write. We all struggle with wanting to procrastinate and do other things because writing is hard and writing is work. So when we spend our days in the feeds worrying about this one said this and this one said that and what did this one do and what did this one do, it is such a waste of time. I am as guilty as anyone of falling prey to that. I have been the victim of the gossip mill. I have participated in the gossip mill. I have gotten whole entire days wasted because I'm too busy worried about the gossip mill. All those things. I've made every mistake and I absolutely own it. I've done things I'm not proud of. I wish I could take back, but I've also learned and I disengage now. I don't do it. One way that I've been able to do that, I don't PM. I do not PM unless it's necessary. I avoid direct messages unless it's with staff that I work with every day and I need to be in frequent contact with them, or maybe a co-writer. But general people from this part of book world and that part and this one and whenever, it's very succinct. Do you want to do a takeover? Do you want a slot? Sure, yes, no, blah, blah, blah. I don't get into that nitty gritty. Did you see such and such publisher's closing? Or, can you believe his cover? I really avoid that. Now, those are things I used to get sucked right into, like a vortex, sucked in. And it was so bad. Number one, it was wrong of me to do because I don't like it when it's done to me. And believe me, it's done to me daily. And number two, what a waste of time. What does that accomplish? It's silly. It's dumb. It's a waste of time. It's just, I don't know. It's not worth it. Obviously, I think the odd, weird, quirky, strange thing about social media and working in an environment where everything is online is that, if you're at a real job or a day job where you had an office to go to, you would go to the break room and you'd have your favorite coworker that you saw every day, and you knew you two do not get along with coworker C, and you could, oh God, yeah, he's driving me nuts today too, and it would be no big deal, right? No harm done. That's called normal relationships in an office setting. People have their favorite coworker and the guy that they're like, no thanks. So yeah, you could do that. The problem is when you do that online, it becomes then there's screenshots, there's the whole rumor mill things, whatever, because there's never tone. Even when you think you're just stating a fact, someone can interpret that a certain way, and it becomes this whole literally, yeah, good talk thing. The other problem is when you're dealing with a ton of creative fiction people who tend to naturally embellish a story. That's their way of communicating. They are natural born storytellers. Well, the telephone game is probably even more, let's say, dramatic, fascinating, by the time it gets up to here. Because every person retelling the story is an author. By the time we're done, we can have a wonderful novel, but Probably not so good for a person on the beginning end of it who it's about. Anyway, drama is dangerous. Drama is harmful. As a therapist, I can tell you that drama, I mean, I've watched people in the hospital because of suicide attempts over indie book world drama. That is disgusting. I have been the victim of this type of drama. It feels awful. It is not okay. There is a certain level of enough is enough. And I think that the people that respect that and know that and stay out of that tend to do better. And the reason they do is because when people see, yeah, this person doesn't engage in that, they don't become the victim of it either. At the same time, I have friends who will literally sit there and let someone say they're a shitty writer or they don't know what they're doing or whatever on a public feed. Come on, guys, you've got to protect your reputation too. You would not allow that in person. So my kind of general rule is, what would I do in person? Well, if I was in person, I would go to the person directly and say, what's the deal? Why are we saying this? What's happening? Now, my caveat here is I am not afraid of conflict. I studied conflict. Conflict, whatever, it sucks. Nobody loves conflict, but I certainly don't fear it. So if you can't go one-on-one to the person and say, why is this happening? Another choice, the next best choice, is disengage. Don't feed into it. You deny, or counterattack, which is worse, whatever the accusation of the week is, only feeds into it and makes it news fodder for the next day in indie book world. I mean, people will make fake pages celebrating the joy of indie drama. It's disgusting, but they do it all the time. Anyway, back to my original point. If someone is blatantly slandering you, blatantly telling untruths about you, you've got to do something about it. Whether you seek legal action, which is an expensive, long, drawn-out process, or you go to them with a cease and desist letter, or you write on the feed, say, this is the story, in one planned out, not just off the cuff impulsive response that you paste into the comments and then boom, disengage. That's one way to handle it. The other thing is block button is your friend. So is the ignore button. Nobody deserves to be bullied, harassed, tortured, any of that in book world. We are all artists trying to create, and we're not all going to get along, just like we wouldn't all get along in an office. But there's no need for mean. There's no need for blatant attacks. There's no need for character assassination. And I don't know if we're all just bored and we're just trying to procrastinate because, writing books is hard. But honestly, there are so many better ways we could spend our day. So if you see it, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that jumps right on the ship. I have blocked so many people that will jump on the ship and bully. It's disgusting. If that's who you are, I don't want to know you. I don't want to be a part of whatever. I don't want to collaborate with you. And for me, because I have a memory of a snail, I won't remember and I'll end up collaborating with this person a year later. So my best bet, block, walk away. Book world is big enough for us all. You just go to that part of the ocean. I'm going to come over here and we're all going to swim peacefully. So that's another way to handle it. There is a line between drama for the sake of drama and blatant bullying. There is also a line in how you handle it. Not saying anything and walking away doesn't mean that you agree with it or that you're cool with it or that you're in any way endorse it. At the same time, you fight too loud, you fight too much, you're going to drag it out. It's just like a bully on the playground. You ignore works until it doesn't. And there comes a point where in one way or another, you need to defend yourself, whether that's publicly, privately, or legally. And you just got to make that call of which time is this for me. It sucks that it happens. It shouldn't happen. Everyone that I know is guilty on one level or another of feeding into it. Even something as simple as so-and-so is quitting when really so-and-so is just having a bad day is participating in that kind of drama. And what does that achieve? I think the greatest thing you can do to yourself or for yourself is say, what am I getting out of this? Is this helping my books? Is this helping my brand? Is this helping me? When you go to feed into drama, let the two people work it out directly and stay the hell away from it if you can. That is my number one best advice I can give you on drama. Trust me, I've made every mistake. I've lived, I've learned. I just stay out of it. I talk to a few very close trusted friends And yes, we do have that coworker conversation, but these are people that I've known for years that aren't here to hurt me. Now, granted, you can say that and the next thing you know they are. So there is that too, and that's book world, but it's also life. You've got to be allowed to vent too. And I've had people who are afraid. They're like, I'm afraid because that one time I said Aaron this or that, and I'm afraid to be Aaron's friend. I am human. I do get that you slammed me that one time in Vegas. Like, I don't care. You just got to realize, guys, when your only form of communication is PM and then somebody's jerking off to screenshot, yeah, maybe you're going to see somebody that you now are really close to. At one point you weren't. I don't know. I don't let that stuff get to me. I don't let most things get to me. But again, it's because I have lived through it all. It's kind of like bad reviews. Once you get a thick skin, you have a tough skin. I've got a really tough skin now, so it's easy for me to say, yeah, whatever, just say what you want about me and carry on. It's going to take a lot for me to engage. I mean, I have someone who's purposely trying, absolutely going out of his way to slander and rip on me and whatever. And dude, you're wasting your time. You are. There's a saying, the one who cares the most has the least power. Remember that. Remember that. Stop caring about the drama. Put your focus on your books, your work, and your craft. Have the most power. Care the least. Drama's not worth it. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about that. You guys have a great day. Stay out of trouble, please. I'm seeing too much drama. I think we're all bored because of this pandemic. I will talk to you soon. Till next time, peace, love, books and crazy.